I had this drawing holster and nice gun. Lucky it was 22. Western holster, and we were out out there by Ingram Park Mall. We call it Rat Hill, because they were building the high school and everything, Ingram High School there, and all the rats and everything moved over on the other side of 410, literally. And they had big piles of brush and stuff. And so we're out there, and we used to go out there and shoot rats all the time. And we're out there, and we were walking down the deal, and this rabbit about from here, that wall, jumps out. And David said, "Get him with your pistol." And I got a rifle here. I said, "Okay." Boom! Went in here and went down to here. So he said, "Oh my gosh!" And we're about 1.5 miles from the car, and so he takes off running as hard as he can. He gets all the way up to the car, and I got the keys. Oh God! And so here he comes back. "Give me the keys, give me the keys, give me the keys." And I'm sitting there now with this all happy shock and kind of, "Oh, okay." Pow, pow, whatever. And so anyway, so he runs back. Well, I'm going, because that car I had all raked back in those days. You had the front end all down and all this, and back to, I had Chrysler rear tires, great big old tires in the back, and the smaller tires in the front, and all this. Another hot rod. Anyway, and I said, "How is he going to get my car back here to pick me up?" Well, as soon as I heard crack, crack, and here he comes. He drove right up to me, all through the cactus and the tree, scratching both sides. I had limbs hanging on the fenders and all this stuff, and he gets me in it, and he takes me home, and I don't know where the tire blew. On the way, we blow a rear tire. Well, he doesn't stop, and I don't know how far we drove, but anyway, his parents lived about 3-4 miles from there, so he drives up there and he goes in and tells them, "Melvin shot himself." "Oh, David, don't talk like that. Don't be stupid." "No, he's out in the car. He shot himself." He said, "What, you stupid idiots? What were you doing?" He said, "Well, he drew on a rabbit and he shot himself." Well, this happens about 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. My parents are at Medina Lake, because we had the lake house then, and we had sold the ranch, and now we have the lake house. And so they go and they call up there to tell my parents, and we didn't have telephone there. So she called Bob Forey, or Forey's Cove, and they call the fishing camp to tell them that Melvin's been taken to the hospital because he shot himself. Okay, well, this is like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well, they say, whoever got the phone call said, "Oh, okay." 4 o'clock that afternoon, almost 5 o'clock, they were coming home. They stopped by my mother and dad's house to tell them, our lake house, and tell them. They said, "Oh, hey, we had a phone call, and I know we should have told you, but Melvin shot himself, and he's in the Santa Rosa hospital." And and that's all they told him. And so, of course, they just go 90 miles an hour. But I sat in that emergency room out in the hall, because it was a Saturday, and because back in those days, the doctor couldn't do anything to you. You had to have parents' permission to be. If it was back in those days, if it was going life or death, they could do something. But if it was not, they had to have the parents' permission. And so Dr. Geisler had gone by that morning and looked at it and all that and took x-rays of it, and said, "Well, he's got a bullet in there, whatever, he needs to have something done." But then he left. And so I sat there out in the hall, because the place was packed, until they didn't touch me till about 7 o'clock that evening. By the time my parents drove all the way in and got to the hospital and did what, and got permission to do it, and did something else. But I spent a couple of days in the hospital. right now it's about, your leg has two bones like this. Okay, it went right down in between them. And it went in, there's a hole right there. This hole used to be up here. And anyway, at that time it was about down in here. And they said that if it had been like a 38, it would just took off the bottom of my heel. So luckily it was just a little old pistol. Oh.